Now, the CDC says many Americans can now go outside without a mask as long as they are vaccinated and not in a big crowd full of strangers. In about 15 minutes, President Biden expected to give more details on the CDC's new guidelines. We will bring that to you live when it happens. For now, Natalie Brand has COVID updates from the White House.
President Biden asked all Americans to wear masks for his first 100 days in office, and now his administration is relaxing some of those recommendations. The CDC is laying out new guidelines today for those fully vaccinated, what activities can resume with and without wearing a mask.
The message is clear. You're vaccinated, guess what? You get to return to a more normal lifestyle. If you're not vaccinated, you're still in danger. You're still in danger as well, so get vaccinated.
The CDC still wants everyone to follow mask and social distancing guidance in many public spaces.
We want to get back to a normal lifestyle. We want to get our economy going, people back at work, restaurants open. You got to do that the right way, and masks help. Vaccinations, important. Masks help. And so even though I'm vaccinated, I still wear a mask.
The new guidance comes as the administration redoubles efforts to reach out to those who are reluctant to get vaccinated. The number of daily doses administered fell from a high of about 3.5 million 2 weeks ago to 2.7 million on Monday. However, with nearly 40% of U.S. adults now fully vaccinated, the number of new coronavirus infections is down 14% from the previous week. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.